Hi guys, this is Mrs. Neal, and I'm going to be teaching you, except I'm not even here. Isn't that crazy? Repeat after me, please. Thank you. This is a whole note. Ta. This is a half note. Ta, ta. This is a quarter note. Ta, 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 ta. This is a pair of eighth notes. T, 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 T. Rhythm, rhythm, rhythm. Long and short sounds. End of. Repeat, please. Thank you. Okay, I hope you remember that from the last time we did it in music. And I have it written out here on paper so we can do this a little bit more officially. We're going to refer to this in 4/4 time. If you remember, 4/4 time means there's 4 beats. 4 beats. So if this is your whole note, then that means that whole note is worth 4 beats. Ta. And here's your half note. And in 4/4 time, a half note is worth 2 beats. Ta, ta. And here's your quarter note. And it's worth 1. Ta, 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 ta. So you can hear that every time I hit a beat that you would have a quarter note there. Now the eighth notes are actually worth a half. That seems kind of a difficult concept, but you're actually, if you had all eighth notes in your measure, then you would actually have 8 eighth notes. Hey, that might make a little bit of sense why they're called that, huh? So if here's your beats, 1, 2, 3, 4, T, 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 T. I'm actually hitting the beat and then saying the rhythm twice as fast. Listen again. T, 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 T. Let's think of this another way. This is a picture of a popsicle that I drew. And the popsicle is one of those kind that you can break apart and share with a friend, right? So it comes in the box like this. It's got 2 sticks, but really it's kind of like 2 popsicles stuck together in one. So if you imagine that the beat is the whole popsicle, you can really get 2 eighth notes into one beat, sort of like the popsicle. So the popsicle either can be, you can, really be greedy and eat the whole thing, or you can be a nice guy and share it with a friend. Either way, eighth notes are like that. You could either have 2 eighth notes together, or you can be separated. But for today, if you're going to use eighth notes in your project, I want you to keep it together like this popsicle with and not share with a friend. Let me show you what we're going to be making today. We are going to make caterpillars. So we've kind of got a little creative project, and this caterpillar is a 4/4 time caterpillar. You got a treble clef, and then you've got the key signature here, and then of course he's got a little head, but these represent the 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. Head doesn't count. Okay? So in your caterpillar, you're going to have a chance to write some rhythm. And you have some choices. You can either do a quarter note. There's another quarter note down here. It's just the same. You could do eighth notes. Okay. Notice in one beat, just like I said, you'd have 2 eighth notes in one beat. Or you can do a rest. Now this is a quarter rest. There's also an eighth rest, which is the same as an eighth note, but we're not going to worry about that today. Okay, we're just going to do quarter rests. So this is the same amount of length as the quarter note, except you don't say anything. So if I'm going to read the rhythm on my caterpillar, it would go like this. 1, 2, ready, go. Ta, ti, ti, ta. Okay? Ta, rest, ti, ti, ta. So here is what you are going to do today. You are actually going to make a caterpillar like this. You're going to create your very own rhythm, and then you're going to share the rhythm with the class. Okay? You can have somebody clap it out for you, and then you can say the rhythm, or you can just say the rhythm by yourself if you're feeling okay about that. So let's get to business and talk about how we are going to make this caterpillar. I'm going to set the camera down just for a second, and I'll be right back, I promise. See, I told you I was coming back. Thanks for being patient. The first thing that you're going to draw is the treble clef. Sorry, my camera works kind of shaky. I'm drawing and holding it at the same time. So you'll get a black piece of paper, and the treble clef is kind of crazy, and so I'm going to show you how to draw it. You're going to start with the stick. Hang on, I got to figure out a better way to do this. Let's see if I can hold it with one arm. Hope you're not sick yet, because I'm starting to feel like I'm making you sick. Okay. Okay, you draw up. You got a line like that. And you bring it around. Make a little swirly. So it kind of looks like that. That's probably the worst treble clef I've ever drawn in my life, because I can't hold the paper. And then at the bottom, kind of make it like that. Now if your treble clef doesn't look like that, hey, just do the best you can. Then write down 4, 4. In 4/4 time, this shows that the quarter note gets a beat and that there are 4 beats. Okay? If you have learned anything about fractions so far, you know that 1/4 is the same thing as quarter. So that's where that comes from. Okay? So then you have some choices to make on your caterpillar. You can have a head, and your head doesn't have to be brown, be any color. And then pick 4 more circles. Only one thing per circle unless it's a pair of eighth notes. Okay, so either a quarter note or a quarter rest, a pair of eighth notes. Those are your only 3 choices. Okay, these 3 choices here: quarter note, quarter rest, or 2 eighth notes. And the quarter rest kind of looks like a funky, crazy looking 3. Okay, that's okay. So what I want you to do is make your caterpillar, draw it out, and glue it down. So at this time, you're going to need to have Mrs. Nice or Mr. Taves choose a helper to go get the pink tubs, please. We also need a second person to pass out circles. Each person is going to need 5 circles. So draw out your notes or your rests and glue them down. And you can clap them out so you can decide just the way you like them before you glue them down. Okay? So go ahead and do that. You've got about 17 minutes to do that part. If you finish, there's drawing paper on the cart you're welcome to get. And then when you're finished, we're going to have every single person share. So you're going to stand up and read your rhythm for the class. And then I want to see your rhythm caterpillars. I promise that I will give them back. I promise, I promise, I promise. But you're going to need to leave them for me. So please make sure you get your name written on the back. Okay? All right, well, I miss you guys. I'm so sorry that I couldn't be here today. I have a doctor's appointment this afternoon, so I have got to miss school this afternoon. So I hope we can get back to normal classes soon. And I'm glad to see you guys, and I will be glad to see you guys next week. Okay? Love ya. I'll see you guys later.